Let's finish up tight ends. Got a couple. The first one is, the guy who's just been more and more ridiculously consistent at being awesome. Taysom Hill at the Vikings. You like him at tight end 6, just a little higher than the experts who like him at 8.
I know. I mean, we've gotten 3 straight weeks now. Scratch that, 4 straight weeks with at least 10 opportunities. He had the team high in rush share last week. 11 carries, 52 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He has now gone for 10, 15, 22, and 19 half PPR points across his last 4 games. He's been a top 6 tight end for all 4 of those weeks. He's the number 2 tight end in his last 4 games in total fantasy points, ahead of Mark Andrews. It's crazy what Taysom Hill is doing. And as you said, it used to be like boom or bust. And we wanted to lean onto him when we were desperate because, hey, we knew the booms could be up to 30 points we saw last year. Now we're getting some steadiness, but we're getting at least 10 opportunities every single week. I'm really into Taysom Hill. Minnesota's not a scary matchup, not a team they should struggle to move the ball against. He caught a touchdown last. He's just such an intriguing piece of this offense and such a highly used piece of this offense that does just do damage every time the ball's in his hand. Why not? We're talking about tight end here. It's such a desperate position. Go for the guy that has a huge ceiling and now a nice balanced floor. It's been really, really solid for Taysom Hill. And I think that's why I'm the number 7 ranked expert in tight ends this year. True.
Are you really?
And it's largely because I just keep going higher on Taysom Hill. It's really boosted me up there.
Higher on Taysom Hill, lower on Kyle Pitts. That's the formula.
Yeah, exactly. That's all you need.
Evan Engram, lower. We're now on lower. Evan Engram against the 49ers. You like him 3 below the experts.
The 49ers have been an absolutely brutal spot against tight ends. They have such a good front 7, and that also does extend into pass coverage. Fred Warner, obviously such a beast and run, stifling type of hitting the hole and really blowing you up, but he also can really drill the tight ends at the line of scrimmage. And sure, I love the usage Evan Engram sends. He has 8, 7, 7, 10 targets. You don't see that type of consistency from your tight ends. Still hasn't found the end zone, and I don't think he's a good bet to do that against a San Fran team. I believe he's only let 1 receiving touchdown up 2 tight ends on the year. It is a really tough spot for him, and with Zay Jones coming back, even more of a vacuum for touchdowns there. So I think Evan Engram, sure, you might get your 7-catch, 50-yard day, but is that really going to daunt you into the top 5, 6 where he's ranked right now? Nah, I don't think so. I'd rather have Kmet, Jake Ferguson, Dalton Schultz, and of course, our guy Taysom Hill. I have all those guys above him, and all those guys are ranked below him in the ECR right now.
All right, last but not least, Hail Mary, Cade Otton against Tennessee, 19% rostered. You also like him 4 more than the experts, but the 19% roster is the thing that people should kind of give pause to.
Yeah, and I think he should be more rostered at this point. He had 2 touchdowns last week. Should have had a 3-touchdown day, really close to that. And it's one of those situations where the usage, the production finally caught up to the usage. This guy's run 91% snap share in every single game this year, and he was only about a 70% snap player as a rookie. He's got top 5 in route share as well among tight ends. He's elite in terms of his field time. He has 6+ targets now in 3 straight weeks, and finally we saw that really come into fruition here. Sure, the matchup against Houston, second most points allowed to tight ends. It made sense for him to do so well, but this is a guy that shoulders his entire passing attack. He's kind of like a Trey McBride light, where he 90th percentile dominator rating, not far off from that type of athletic ability. Not much of a run blocker, sure, but still, we don't need that for fantasy points by any means. So I think this kid, in a game we just talked about earlier with Will Levis, I think this game, once again, has shootout potential, and he's becoming a really reliable 9 targets last week, 6 catches, 70 yards on those 2 scores. Not a lot of tight ends getting 9-target days. I think he's really earned that trust of Baker Mayfield with, again, 6 or more targets in 3 straight. Very reliable source of volume that you just don't find at tight end. Certainly not at 80% available on the waiver wire at this point. What is up, you fantasy wolf? Thanks so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, share your thoughts in the comments, check out some more videos, and join the newest Wolfpack by subscribing below.